What's going on, guys? It's your friend Jack here, and in today's video we are going to be going over how I personally upload my designs and place them on all of the Redbubble product selection. So if you're ready for that and you want to see how I place my designs on the Redbubble products, then stay tuned for the rest of this video and let's get right into it. But right before we get into the video, if you guys enjoy this video at any point in time, please smash the like button and leave a comment down below letting me know your thoughts on my process. If you guys have any critiques or criticisms or any kind of questions, ask them down below and I'll be sure to take a look at them. Alright, and here we are on the upload page. I have uploaded a test design, and make sure when you're doing this, if you have a black text design, go here and make sure you change this to the color that you want all of your backgrounds to be. But keep in mind, when you change the background color on this, it will change most of the things, but these two pieces of clothing here and some of the other things will change. So make sure you go into them and manually change them to the color you want. You can see here that one was already on black and I didn't even know it. So was that one. So make sure your colors are okay on these large print clothing, and on the standard clothing, just click the color you want here and you will be good to go. You can see on these ones I also have it on the right color on black. So we're going to go back to essential t-shirt and we're going to change it back to white because we do want white for this design, but that is something that a lot of people miss, and you want to make sure you're doing that for your premium t-shirts and all the other ones on this little box here. But yeah, for product placement now, when you're doing t-shirts and shirts, I highly recommend that you put your products on the chest area. Not many people are going to favor a design that is just on the stomach. Oddly enough, I did sell 1 or 2 t-shirts when I was starting, and I did not know this, on the stomach, but honestly it looks way better on the chest. People are going to like it more, people are going to buy it more often, and they're going to be kind of turned off if it's on the stomach. Unless it's a specific design meant to, you know, be for like pregnancy or something like that, then I would keep it on the chest area towards the top of the design and try to keep it centered if you can, unless you have a offset design. Anyways, we'll continue here, and for the t-shirt, what I like to do is, like I just said, in the center, make sure I press the horizontal line button. I don't press the vertical line button because my design is already centered in the right spot, so all I have to do is press horizontal line. If it looks a little bit off, I'll adjust it, but usually this is pretty good, and I try to make it pretty much as big as possible in most situations. A little bit smaller than that because it does look a little bit weird, but oftentimes I don't change this. I just go with what I already designed because I design for it to be already placed in the right spot when I design in the top section of the shirts. Then if you do that, I recommend you do that, because if you design in the top section of the shirt, you won't have to adjust many of these at all. I usually don't. And you want to just go through these, make sure they're on the right color, apply. And yeah, it's a lot easier when you just make your design in the top and you don't really have to move it. This one I like to make bigger usually, and just make sure it's not too close to the neck because it looks a bit weird, as you can see. Kind of want to put it on the chest area, horizontal line, and then apply. And it goes the same for all these shirts. These are full print shirts, so they're going to be different if you have specific designs for them. However, I just leave them enabled and put them like this, like normal shirts, every single time. And going forward, the A-line dress, I try to do more of a stomach thing unless my design looks good like this on the chest. Which sometimes it does. Oftentimes I just leave it because not that many people buy A-line dresses, and not that many of my designs are for A-line dresses. But if you are going to make an A-line dress with a t-shirt design, probably should just put it up here or make it big and put it on the bottom. That's up to you, but honestly it doesn't matter that much because not that many people are out there buying A-line dresses, but some people will, so you might be surprised. I would still enable them. And for stickers, now if you have a white text sticker, this is going to look really bad. But what you can do is actually just change this, replace image, and put a black text version of your design, or stroke the outside, meaning outline the white text with a black outline. That also works. You want to make sure you have them all enabled, and I would recommend your sticker profit margins to be 50% or higher. Mine are 70. So yeah, make sure sticker profit margins are pretty good. I know that's not related to product placement. Now the phone cases. The phone cases, it's pretty straightforward. I would say put them in the center and make them as big as possible without going over the edges. Not too big because some of the phone cases are different. There are different types of phone cases. So make sure, I put it in the center. Try to avoid the camera area too much because a lot of phones go in a different way for the camera. So you don't want your design to be cut off. I try to go in the center. If anything, go more towards the bottom so the camera doesn't obstruct the design, and then apply your changes. And then now for the foam wallets, same thing. I try to go center or to the right, away from the camera, but center is usually best because when it lays it out flat, you'll be able to see the whole design. Pillows in the center, usually pretty big, not too big, but big enough so it looks really good and you can read in the thumbnail. Even a little bit bigger is good like that, and then horizontal line it. And same for the floor pillow. And let's move on to the print cards and posters. For these, in most cases, I do recommend you enable these. And the size I'm using for my template, by the way, is 5000 by 7100 pixels. And that's the best kind of size for Redbubble templates, in my opinion. It's going to look good on almost everything. And this is going to be centered. You can't really see the white here, but you're going to want to have this centered. It's going to look a lot better if it's centered. And then same for the laptop in the center. If you have a design that goes more to the sides, just make sure you're fitting inside these boxes and not just looking at the template, because some of the prints are different for different sizes. So if I go here, you'll see it looks like it's in the laptop case, but out here it's outside the borders. So you want to stay inside the safe margins, and I would just center it, make it as big as possible because they are paying for a laptop skin or a pouch or a sleeve. And make sure you have all these products enabled. But as you can see here, I do. Then next design is the shower curtains, the duvets, and the comforters. Honestly, just make sure it's as big as possible because these are big items, and make sure you align it in the center once again. And it's pretty much like that for most of these products. The only thing I would say is mugs. Make sure you either put on the left or right side. The right side, weirdly enough, is always the one that they display in the thumbnails, or not in the thumbnails, in the pictures for the product. So the right side's probably best, but however, practically the left side is better because when you're holding a right hand person is holding a mug, they're going to be design facing out them if the design is on the left side. But the right or the left, just don't put it here. I would not recommend it putting it here, even though you can show it like this. You might not be able to see that. I would put it on the right or the left side. Don't put it in the middle. The middle just is weird. It doesn't, not many mugs, if you go look it around, have it in the middle. Put it on the right or left. You can try to tile it, but usually it doesn't work all that well, and having it 3 times is a bit much. So you could also make a separate template for this specific item, which just has the design on either side. That would also work, but we're just going to go and put it on the right side for time's sake, because if you have 1,000, 2,000 designs, you're not going to want to do that for every design. But something I would recommend doing for a lot of your designs is the stickers, because stickers do sell very well in Redbubble and they can boost your sales for your other products. Now let's scroll down to the travel mugs. And the travel mugs, I usually try to keep it in the center here on this design. And because they're very vertical, I try to make it so I can kind of see the whole design on this little area, or just make it the whole thing and go with it. I've sold a couple of travel mugs. Usually I have the design something like this in the center, and the centered is clicked here. So for them to read the whole design, they are going to have to click on the product. But most of my products actually look really good like this. If it's just a text-based design, it might not come out the best, but the travel mugs are a different kind of item, so it might not look 100%. However, it's still going to be a product enabled that could get you a sale, and trust me, that happens. Random products do sell. And then for mini skirts, I would just make it pretty big, pretty bold, and put it in the center once again. Same thing with the drawstring bags. Center, big and bold. You want to make it eye-catching in the thumbnail, so you don't want to make your design like this. Also, the thumbnail doesn't look good, and no one really wants a iPad skin that they're paying, however much, $27 to $61 for. That doesn't really fill up the whole space. You might as well just go bigger, and it looks better for everyone. Same for scarves. Make these as big as possible, then align it in the middle. And here we get to spiral notebooks. And for spiral notebooks, you only can put the design on one side. So like the greeting cards, just gonna put it in the center, somewhere around here. The vertical line doesn't always work because I have my designs placed in the top already. So I just eyeball it and then horizontal align it. For the hardcover journals, we are going to basically just center it. And I have a pattern here called the regular grid, or the front and back, my bad. The regular grid looks like this. It doesn't look that good. Choose the pattern front and back, and then whatever you have in the front will also be in the back. Line it up, and now you have it on the front and back. It's pretty simple. Try to make this a little bit bigger, and then bam, it stands out in the thumbnail, and it's going to look good on both sides. For the clock, if I have a circular design, I'll try to line it up with the clock because it looks good. But usually I just try to make it as big as possible and not too big, so it's like on the edges like this. but try to make it just so it just fits just nicely. Center it up, and there you have your clock. Usually I would try to fix this a little bit, make sure it looks good. The frame color, I have it on natural bamboo. That's just this one right here. It does look kind of nice. You can also put it on white or black. It doesn't really matter that much. And for the hand color, I usually keep it on white or black, not red or aqua. I don't really mess with that too much, but that's what I do for this. And we're going to leave it on white. And then you could also use these repeat designs or the grids if your design stands for it. On any of these products, if you think the grid or the squares will look better, then I would do it. However, most of the time it does not, especially with text-based designs. You have to just play with it sometimes and figure out which works best for each design type. But yeah, and these two items right here, actually, the artboard print and the acrylic block, these are the two annoying ones, because even after you copy a design, these are always going to reset, usually wrongly, and they aren't going to be the same. So copying designs, make sure you always check these two right here. These two like to change on you if you're copying designs. When I say copying designs, I mean copying your previous work. Go to your manage portfolio, click copy settings, and if you aren't doing that, I would definitely recommend doing that rather than enabling each product each time. Copy the settings of a product that you've already enabled everything on and change the colors on. And then for all of these, I just make them big in the center and bold. It's really just that for all these types of items. And apply and just try to line them up nicely so they look decent. And then for the water bottle, this in the center, nothing too crazy. Same for the bath mat in the center, and nothing too crazy for anything really. The only things you really have to look out for is the hardcover journals. You want to do front and back, and for these you could do tiles. However, I wouldn't really recommend it unless it's the design specifically fits it, but the pattern is here for regular grid and offset grid. So if you want to change it up and make it something like this, you could. Sometimes it does look good for different designs, but keep in mind most of the time your design is probably just going to look better big and bold and in the center. So now that we have that out of the way, all these basic items are done in the center. For the masks, I would try to keep it a little bit in the range here, because this is a normal mask and they also do have a kids mask, so you don't want your design to get cut off on the kids mask. And then for the apron here, I like to go in the square area. I usually don't put the design up here, and I just put it right here. Say it was like this is the barbecue master. It would just be down here rather than kind of squished and up here. Doesn't look as good. It looks better to get the whole thing in here, in my opinion. And then the jigsaw puzzle, I have it enabled, never made a sale. I don't see why anyone would buy a jigsaw puzzle like this, but I have it enabled nonetheless, and I haven't really even looked at it. I just kind of leave it there. And for leggings, I usually have these on a, some kind of grid, because most of my designs aren't going to look good on leggings, so I just make it a grid and call it a day. Make sure you can see the design in a couple of these thumbnails. Press apply, and there you go. It's not going to look great because I didn't customize it for leggings. For the socks, I always go on the grid, and I try to get it centered on both socks, the designs. So you're going to see I had it pretty good already to start with, but basically I just make the design so it's centered on each sock like this so you can read it. Usually try to make it just one in the sock like that. And that's the whole sock. Now let's go to backpacks. For backpacks, I also just do a tile grid. Make sure it's visible in 2 or 3 spots, right here and here. It's visible, the design is visible, and then I apply it. And for the fitted mask, I always go to one side, or I make a separate version of my design and put it for either side like you would for the mug. So you could probably use a mug template on this one too, and it probably might work. Not 100% sure on that. I actually haven't done both of them. So yeah, that's all the products, and that's pretty much it for the duffel bag. Same thing, I put it on a grid. I try to make sure you can see the design on this duffel bag side right here in the bottom left, and the bottom right sometimes too, but it does look a little bit weird. So I try to make sure at least you can see the design a few times in tile mode, and you can read it here pretty clearly. And then I would apply, and that is it. But before you go, you want to make sure that your default product in your shop is not optimized. You don't want to have it here on optimize, which is right here at the bottom. Most people leave this on by mistake. You don't want to do this. What you want to do is you want to pick something that your design looks good on, so you can scroll back up and check. But usually, and in most cases, if your design looks good on a sticker, I would go with a sticker. Or if your design looks good on a mask, this one looked pretty good on a mask. probably better on a sticker. Then go with the mask. Those also sell a lot. A greeting card is another good option. The thumbnail is not the best for greeting cards, so I would kind of stray away from that in most situations. And then once again, a t-shirt is another great option. You can also go with the classic t-shirt, which is up here somewhere. But I usually just go normal t-shirt. It looks really good. It's an essential t-shirt. So I go with the normal t-shirt, a sticker, or a mask. Sometimes a greeting card, but the greeting card thumbnail is a little bit zoomed out. So I just make sure I have it optimized for greeting cards and people can search for it and find it that way. But yeah, t-shirts, masks, and stickers are my recommendations unless your product is specifically designed for one of these products. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial. If you did, please smash the like button. If you have any questions whatsoever, leave them down in the comments below and I'll be sure to get back to you ASAP. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys have a great freaking day. Keep striving, stay blessed. It's been your friend Jack. Peace out.